Vaseline is one of the cheapest things in your house. $2, maybe less. And somehow men keep expecting it to create a better face by rubbing it randomly across their skin for 3 nights, then calling it overrated when nothing happens. But what if the problem was never the Vaseline? I took a $2 tub of Vaseline, applied it only to my jawline, under eye hollows, cheek hollows, and lip border every single night for 30 days. I documented what changed. On day 7, something subtle shifted that I almost missed. By day 15, my own reflection started to look different. By day 30, the results were undeniable. And not every zone reacted the way the internet told me it would. Some got better. One got worse before it got better. This is the actual timeline, the actual protocol, not a hack or trick. A 30-day facial re-architecture that costs less than a cup of coffee. The 4-zone protocol, why most guys get 0 results. There's a reason you've never seen a Vaseline transformation that felt real. Everyone slaps it on like a mask, everywhere, with 0 intention. The issue is placement, consistency, and method. Because Vaseline is not magic. It's an occlusive, meaning it locks moisture in, changes surface texture, protects fragile skin, and can temporarily improve how certain facial areas reflect light and hold structure. Used lazily? Almost nothing. Used with a real protocol? Different story. So for 30 straight nights, I tested a structured system. Jawline zone, under eye zone, hollow cheek zone, and lip border zone. Same application every night. Same timing, same amount, same lighting checks at day 7, day 15, and day 30. No filters, fake overnight transformation, or influencer nonsense. Just the actual results of treating Vaseline like a serious facial aesthetics protocol. And one of the changes by day 15 was something most men completely miss. Zone 1, jawline zone, sharper lower face. Most men apply products to the cheeks and forehead. Wrong place. The truth is, the lower face is where masculinity is judged fastest. Chin line, jaw angle, and neck separation. The truth is, a sharp jawline is 80% skin tightness and light reflection over the bone. If the skin over your jaw is dehydrated, it looks dull, and the shadow where your jaw meets your neck disappears. Vaseline doesn't grow bone, but it reduces surface dryness, improves skin smoothness, and creates cleaner light reflection across the jaw border. Dry, flaky skin blurs edges. Hydrated skin defines them. After learning this, I began applying a thin amount of Vaseline along the jaw edge, chin line, and just above the upper neck transition. After 7 days, the first noticeable change was in structure. It was a cleaner separation in morning lighting. My jaw looked less tired, less dull, and more finished. Day 15. This is where it became obvious in side-angle photos. The line from chin to neck looked tighter, mainly because the texture improved. Day 30. I won't say there was any miracle transformation, but the jawline shadow was visibly sharper and more consistent. By day 30, the lower face looked more disciplined, especially in overhead lighting. But here's the optical trap nobody talks about. The moment your jawline sharpens, the eye automatically travels upward, and the first thing it finds is a hollow that now looks twice as deep by comparison. Fix the jawline in isolation, and you don't look chiseled. You look exhausted. That's why Zone 2 is the one that can make or break the entire protocol. Zone 2, under eye zone. Most men sabotage their faces here. You can have a solid jawline, decent skin, good hair, and still look exhausted because of the under eye area. This is the one that surprised me most. The area under your eyes is less than 1 millimeter thick and has almost no subcutaneous fat. When moisture escapes overnight, the skin sinks into the orbital hollow, casting a dark bluish shadow. Every guy tries to fix this with caffeine serums that dehydrate further. The Vaseline protocol does the opposite. Vaseline creates a barrier that reduces overnight water loss. That means smoother skin by morning. The skin under your eyes can be far thinner than the skin on your cheeks, meaning small improvements there are highly visible. So each night, tiny amounts of Vaseline went under my orbital bone, never too close to the lash line. Tap gently. Do not rub. The goal is to create a thin, even seal. I did this every night, and I tracked the change brutally. Day 7. The hollow is still structurally present, but the skin shows reduced micro-creasing on waking. Texture appears less dehydrated under direct light. The change is subtle, but measurable. Less collapse overnight, slightly smoother surface tension. Day 15. This is the first zone other people noticed without knowing why. I looked more awake, more composed. Also, the bluish tint reduced noticeably after waking. Day 30. The under eye shadow didn't vanish, but it no longer looked like a crater. By day 30, the eyes looked less sunken and more expressive. Now the face looks sharper. The eyes look alive. At this point, most people would stop. But here's where something unexpected showed up. Even with better skin and less fatigue, the face still looked slightly flat in photos. Not bad though, just lacking presence. And that comes from a zone almost no one thinks to control. Zone 3. Hollow cheek zone. Better mid-face presence. Cheek hollows are the difference between a boyish face and a masculine, angular one. Most guys chase buccal fat removal, but that's surgery. What Vaseline can do is amplify the natural topography. When the skin is dry, it looks flat and diffuse. When it's optimally hydrated and occluded, light hits the high point of the cheekbone, then drops into the hollow with more contrast, because the hydrated skin reflects light off the bone while the hollow stays in natural shadow. Think of it as changing how the cheek catches light. Here's the fact that surprised me. Cheekbone skin has the highest density of sebaceous glands on the face, and almost no sweat glands. That means it's biologically primed to hold a reflected lipid film. Vaseline seals that film all night, effectively turning your cheekbones into a natural, specular highlighter. No makeup required. Without it, you lose that subtle gloss that creates depth in photos, and the mid-face flattens out. So for this protocol, I used a tiny amount on the upper cheekbone, sweep, and outer mid-cheek, avoiding the center T-zone. Here's what I saw, what you will too. Day 7. Nothing much. Cheeks looked healthier though, especially at night. Day 15. In certain overhead lighting, my cheekbones seemed to pop more. Photos improved more than mirror checks. The face looked less flat. Day 30. With consistent application, the hollow cheek contrast became stable. By day 30, the cheek facet looked carved, a lighting effect that costs you 2 cents a night. Now the face finally has architecture, but the subconscious reads proportion, not just structure. And if the central feature of your lower face, the mouth, is surrounded by a blurred border, the entire look collapses into something unfinished. This next zone is the one most men skip, and it's the reason their face looks soft, even after doing everything else right. Zone 4. Lip border zone. A weak lip border makes the entire lower face look soft, no matter how sharp your jaw is. Most men ignore lips entirely, then wonder why the face looks unfinished. The lips lose definition with age because the vermilion border, the sharp edge where skin meets the red lip, dehydrates and blurs. Vaseline is the oldest lip treatment for a reason, but most men apply it to the whole lip and call it a day. That's a missed opportunity. The real looks max is applying it to the border, not the lip cushion. When the border is hydrated, it contracts slightly, creating a sharper delineation that frames the mouth. People often judge facial health in seconds, using the eyes and mouth first, meaning lips matter more than most men think. So here's the protocol for you. Every night, after the other zones, apply a very thin layer around the rim of the lips, exactly where the skin changes color. Press it in, don't smear. Then gently seal your lips together. You're training the vermilion edge to hold moisture and definition. Day 7. You feel it before you see it. The border isn't catching or dragging when you press your lips together. It feels smoother, more controlled. Visually, almost nothing yet, but the texture shift is obvious. Day 15. The Cupid's bow started to look sharper in harsh bathroom light. Better symmetry appearance because dryness wasn't distorting edges. Day 30. In photos with flash, the lip contour looked noticeably crisper, a small detail that reshapes the whole lower face. By day 30, the lips framed the face instead of dragging it down. Final verdict. What stood out most wasn't a dramatic transformation. It was the accumulation of small wins: cleaner under eyes, a sharper jawline transition, more defined lips, better cheek contrast in the right lighting. Individually, each change is minor. Together, they shift how your face is read: more structured, more awake, more intentional. And when you break it down, the cost-to-result ratio is almost absurd. A $2 product, used correctly, producing visible improvements across multiple zones of the face. Now, to be clear, this isn't rebuilding bone structure or turning you into a model overnight. But it doesn't need to, because most faces don't need transformation. They need refinement and consistency. That's what this protocol delivers. Vaseline can improve how your face looks on the surface, but if your face looks slightly off, even with better skin, sharper eyes, and cleaner jawlines, there's usually a deeper reason. It's not skincare. In the next video, I break down the one daily habit that's quietly changing your facial structure over time, and why fixing it can make everything you just did work twice as hard. Click the link on your screen to watch that next.